Have you ever wished for a life manual? Something written by one of the sharpest minds in history? Well, that's pretty much what we're cracking open today. We are diving into the teachings of Chanakya, a master strategist from ancient India, whose advice on power, success, and just life is crazy relevant right now, even after more than 2,000 years.
This one sentence right here, it's basically the master key to Chanakya's entire way of thinking. A man is great by deeds, not by birth. I mean, think about it. In an age that was all about your family name and who your parents were, this was a completely revolutionary idea. It's the foundation he built empires on, and it's the foundation we're going to build our understanding on today.
All right, so who was the man behind these powerful words? Who was this kingmaker whose strategic genius has managed to echo through centuries, shaping not just empires, but individuals too?
Okay, picture a time of total chaos and conflict. Chanakya emerges as this force of pure intellect. He was a philosopher who really got human nature, an economist who understood the levers of power, and a teacher who could spot potential a mile away. But he wasn't just a thinker, no way. He was the architect of the entire Mauryan Empire, proving that the absolute sharpest weapon you can have is a well-trained mind. And this is where you really see his strategy in action. Chanakya didn't try to grab power for himself. Instead, he found this young, overlooked prince, Chandragupta Maurya, and he forged him into a leader. Together, they went up against the corrupt Nanda dynasty. It was a real David and Goliath story. And the result? They didn't just win a battle. They unified an entire subcontinent and founded the Mauryan Empire. Talk about playing the long game.
And the best part, he left us the blueprints. His two incredible works, the Shastra and Chanakya Niti, aren't just dusty old scrolls. You should think of them as practical operating manuals for life. They are timeless guides to understanding power, people, and society. And they are just as useful today as they were thousands of years ago. So, what was the source code for his success? What was the fundamental operating system that was running behind every single strategic decision he ever made? Let's get into the core of Chanakya Niti. At the absolute center of his philosophy is this one powerful concept, dharma. Now, this is way more than just a word. It was his moral compass. It means that every single action, every calculated move, has to be rooted in a sense of righteous duty, and it must aim for the greater good. For Chanakya, any strategy that didn't have dharma, well, that was just manipulation.
This is his incredible trifecta for taking effective action. Okay, so step 1, be a realist. See the world as it is, not as you wish it were. Step 2, be a strategist. Plan your moves, think about the consequences, and always be 3 steps ahead. And then step 3, the one that anchors it all. Make sure every action is guided by ethical conduct, by dharma. It's the ultimate blend of being pragmatic and being principled.
And this quote, it just perfectly captures his bias for action. He taught that you don't just sit around and wait for fear to grow and take over. No, the second it shows up, you attack it. Now, this isn't about being reckless. It's about having proactive, decisive courage. It's the very soul of his forward-thinking strategy. Okay, so that's the big picture philosophy. But how does all this translate to the battlefield of our actual daily lives? Let's take a look at how Chanakya applied his strategic framework to 2 of life's most critical areas, our relationships and our wealth. For Chanakya, no relationship was ever just a casual accident. He saw every single connection as a strategic asset. He argued that to truly succeed, you absolutely have to master the art of human dynamics. You have to understand that everyone, from your closest friend to your biggest rival, plays a really important role in your story. And his approach was surgical, really. With friends, the goal was always depth over breadth. He'd advise choosing them based on shared values, so you can build a foundation of unbreakable loyalty. But with adversaries, it wasn't about brute force. It was all about intellect, understanding their motives, predicting their moves, and using pure strategy to outmaneuver them. 2 different playbooks.
And his view on wealth was just as strategic and, get this, deeply ethical. For Chanakya, money was never the end goal. It was a powerful tool, a resource that was meant to build stability for yourself and, here's the crucial part, to contribute to the well-being of your whole community.
So let's break this down, because it's basically a complete virtuous cycle. First, you create wealth through diligent, honest work. Simple enough. Next, you manage it with wisdom, avoiding greed. And finally, you give it purpose by directing it toward the greater good, which, you guessed it, brings us right back to that core principle of Dharma. All right, so this all brings us to the most important question of all. Why should we, here in the 21st century, be listening to a strategist from 350 BCE? I mean, how can this ancient wisdom possibly apply to our hyper-connected, super fast-paced world? And you know what? That's a totally fair question. The world Chanakya lived in is long gone. He never had to deal with social media or global markets or a 24/7 news cycle. So where's the common ground? What's the connection? The connection is human nature. It hasn't changed one bit. The technologies are new, sure, but the fundamental challenges of leadership, ambition, and conflict, they're exactly the same. His principles give us a timeless blueprint for making ethical decisions in the boardroom, for using strategic thinking to grow your career, and for building the personal resilience you need to get through life's curveballs. When you really boil it all down, Chanakya's most profound lesson is about balance. He shows us that being practical and being moral aren't enemies. You can be incredibly ambitious in your goals while also being deeply ethical in how you get there. This powerful blueprint for living an effective and an honorable life, that's his real, timeless legacy. Let's end with one last piece of his tactical wisdom. As this quote reminds us, real power isn't just in your actions, but in your discretion. Plan your moves in silence. Let your success be the thing that makes all the noise. That, right there, is the mark of a true strategist. And so, as we close this deep dive on Chanakya's wisdom, he leaves us all with a final challenge. From all of these powerful strategies we've talked about, which one insight, which single principle are you going to carry forward into your own life? That's the real question he poses to every single one of us.